society's approach to criminal wrongdoing should incorporate both rehabilitation and restorative justice. Excuse me. I feel that society's approach to criminal wrongdoing should incorporate rehabilitation because it prepares the criminal for life on the outside after being released from prison. This prepares them to live a more successful and positive life and should help them not end up back in prison. Restorative justice, on the other hand, provides closure for both the criminal and the victim of the crime that was committed at hand. Society's approach to criminal wrongdoing should involve restoring the criminal so that they realize the harm that they have done and ensure that they do not do it again. It should also involve ensuring both healing and closure for both parties that are involved, meaning the victim. We have discussed dungeons and their use in our society's prison system. Dungeons were small, cold rooms that had little to no light, only a small amount of oxygen, and no windows. These rooms were used to hold criminals beginning in the early 13th century and was one of society's first reaction to criminal wrongdoing. While being held in a dungeon, criminals were not receiving any sort of rehabilitation resources. Incorporated the retributivism approach, which is a form of punishment that argues that when a criminal breaks a law, they are required to suffer as a punishment. I feel that this approach will not cause any major changes within rehabilitating the criminal because they have no actual time to reflect on the crime. Instead, they are only focused on making it from day to day. Not only is this approach non-beneficial, but it but it also damages the mental health of the criminal, which will eventually cause them trauma and lead them back to prison. Class, we have discussed monasteries. Monasteries were religious affiliated buildings that contained cells in which criminally accused monks and nuns stayed to reflect on what they had done wrong while living a godly life. I personally do not feel that this type of approach would be successful in our current society due to religion not being as sacred as it used to be in other times. Even then, due to the predominantly religious focus, it was difficult to truly know if a person had really been rehabilitated while staying in a monastery cell. I feel that programs similar to the Education Justice Project, whose sole focus is to reinvent prisoners by teaching them necessary life skills that will keep them out of trouble and allow them to reflect on their past. I am sure that the majority of criminals in prison feel that both society and the prison system have turned their backs on them and do not want to see them succeed in life after being released from prison, but instead just to return to prison. But I personally feel that it would not only make them feel good, but also help with their process of reinventing themselves to know that they have a group of people behind them who want to take the time to sit with them and let them know that they do not judge them for their past mistakes and that they are willing to help them become successful after being released from prison. Excuse me. Programs like this will also help ensure that they do not return to prison. Programs that excuse me. Programs that I feel should be incorporated include education programs, sobriety success programs, second chance employment programs, counseling programs, and both physical and mental wellness programs. I feel that the key aspects to restoring a criminal include education, patience, care, love, and non-judgment.